as soon as I won that Emmy, I thought, okay, now things are good. No, that's when the real work starts. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, all right, what else you got? Like, how can you grow? Just because you reached a certain point, there is an infinite amount of other things that are still need to be discovered. And we have no idea what that is. And, you know, this goes very philosophical, but I'm so excited to try all of these things out. I'm so excited to find out what else is out there for me and my musical journey.
Hi, I'm Zack Newmark, and this is Dam Yankee. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube for all the best interviews with the coolest performers based here in the Netherlands and those traveling through the country. Today, we've got an Emmy Award-winning musician. He's a neoclassical composer and pianist, born and mostly sort of kind of raised here in Amsterdam. He has been the musical director at Boom Chicago, the improv comedy theater, for the past 14 years, and will tell us what his next step in his career is just about to become. For now, we're super excited to talk about him because he's also had this crazy journey that actually led to him becoming a performer in the first place, because his actual education background is in the health sciences. So that's kind of odd. But please, a round of applause from the people who aren't even here right now. Sacha Hoedemaker, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Zach. That's amazing. Well, nice introduction. I do have to say, I was like, where is he going? This is exciting. It's me.
I mean, you've got this Emmy Award, which we'll talk about as well, but we're recording this during Amsterdam Dance Event, which is this huge worldwide festival.
Right.
And 3 years ago at Amsterdam Dance Event, you were named one of the top 50 performers in your category.
During that period, there was in 2022, indeed. I had just the year before that, I got placed on Peaceful Piano, one of the Spotify's playlists that, you know, it has over 7.5 million followers. So it's a huge deal to be on that playlist. And my numbers were just through the roof, and it was unbelievable to see that, which then on charts showed that I was in the top 50 of neoclassical composers. So what a dream.
I mean, super cool, because, what did that impact, or what kind of impact did that have for you, afterwards?
It's a little bit less than I had expected. Like I thought, okay, now I get the ball rolling. And it was quite a nice, humbling experience that, you still need to put in the work. You still need to do everything, because otherwise it just becomes stagnant and you slowly start drifting down as an artist. And I took that as a lesson to be like, no, this is something I want to pursue, and I want to keep growing. And over time, it's been catching nice waves and then going down. And so it's a very fulfilling and beautiful journey that I've been going through for the last 5 years of releasing music.
You said the last 5 years that you've actually been releasing your own music, but you've been working as a professional musician now at Boom Chicago for 14 years.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm so curious how you actually wound up at Boom Chicago, considering, at that point you were studying health sciences. Yeah. You have a bachelor's and a master's degree from Vrije Universiteit,
That's right.
the other university in Amsterdam for the non-Dutch speakers. And then, on top of that, you were like working, if memory serves, as a data analyst, for a brief period as well.
One of the things, yeah, exactly. I've tried a lot of different things in the health science field. I was doing biomedical sciences, and it was time to choose your master's and your way to go. And I've always been very much a yes man, right? I watched that movie with Jim Carrey, decades ago, or can't be that old, right?
Or I hope it's not that old, because what does that say about us, right?
Exactly. Anyway, so I saw that movie and I heard of the concept, and I've always been embracing this kind of like saying yes to an opportunity, or saying yes to a feeling that you get when an opportunity arises, and you get that feeling of going for it, right? Of getting a whole body yes, or like a full body yes in that sense. And I was like, that has always been part of my DNA, truly. Like, not necessarily the term, but the like going to you're getting an opportunity and embracing that. So ever since I started playing music professionally, I looked for these opportunities, or I found myself in opportunities. And in terms of Boom Chicago, how did I get there? Well, I've done a lot of theater work when I was a child, like musicals I loved in my high school. I was doing Chicago, I remember, and I was not really
the musical
the
Chicago.
Musical Chicago, yeah. And I wasn't really a good of a pianist just yet. I had 2 years of piano lessons, but I found that I was so inspired by that musical that I decided I'm going to learn how to play piano properly. And I looked at all of the sheet music for all of the instruments, and we were a 22-piece band in high school. And I looked at all of the sheet music. I couldn't read notes, but I was determined by ear to learn every part of every instrument for the whole musical. It just came out of nowhere. And I was like, this is a goal I'm setting for myself. And from that moment, I had this bug of music in me. And it because I had 2 years of lessons when I was 6, up until 8, and then I quit playing piano until I was 12, 13, and I picked it back up. And that was when the musical started, and I got to play the second keyboard for the Musical Chicago, because we didn't have a tuba. It was bop, bop, bop. That was literally my part in Chicago. Right. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to learn everything. So that's the type of person that I was, like, you know, especially disciplined and wanting to really dive into something and do it justice, and learning it and finding out all of the things. And I didn't have that much knowledge yet, but I just wanted to do that. So from that musical, I got in touch with a couple people that were in theater in Bussum, in the my hometown.
About 20 minutes away from here.
Yeah, it's near Hilversum. It's a very cute town. And I got into a bit of into the theater world there more and more. I got to teach some kids how to perform, because I was, from a musical perspective, I really understood. I saw things and patterns of this thing works, this thing doesn't. And I got to work with children as well. I accompanied a lot of singers, because I loved getting to know how to play certain songs and then performing them with singers. And these people who were teaching singing lessons needed a pianist who could listen and who could, work together. And I didn't play from the sheet music. I played by listening. And so that, I had a couple years of experience, and from that I gotten into improv, and this was with Laura Dorneweert, who's now running a theater called Flock Theater.
Okay.
And is actually the first person who introduced me to improv. I said, you should try it. You're I think you're the right guy for this. And I was like, okay, well, let me see what it's up. And since then, I was like, okay, so I don't need to learn a specific song. I can just do whatever feels right. That's exactly what I want. And from that moment, I was like, okay, improv is very cool. Let me try it out. I was doing weekly sessions, doing things that I saw on YouTube from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And
right.
These kind of improvisers. This was in, late 2000s, 2008, 2009. I started getting more into it. I started doing some shows here and there. I was like, I recently saw this almost 20 years. No, that can't be. Yeah, like 18 years ago, like something that I had written, that it was going to be my first show doing improv. It's unbelievable how fast that goes.
Right.
And then this was at Easy Laughs, which also is a theater group in Amsterdam. And from that moment that I did that show, I kept saying yes to all of these opportunities and kept saying like, I wanna do this, and I wanna do more teaching. I wanna learn more about musical improv. I wanna produce all kinds of fun things that had to do with improv and music. At the same time, I was studying biomedical sciences, and I was like, I don't know if this is really my thing, because I can follow my passion and do a lot of music, or I could follow this, lifestyle of being a researcher and being very precise, very methodic. And I'm a very precise type of person, where I want to get to the bottom of things, and I really want to, I want to understand things from how they work, which is, great from a research perspective. But from a music perspective, it's like everything is so open and everything is free. But I wanted to make sense of it all. So I wanted to find patterns, and that's how I taught myself, right, how to play and how to think and listen. And then one day I was performing on a random Sunday. I was performing at this workshop that was just a walk-in workshop from Easy Laughs. And one of the Boom Chicago actresses called Jessica Lowe was teaching that workshop. And she said, "You're amazing. Like, come try. Have you heard of Boom Chicago?" And I was like, "No, but what is it?" And I'm excited to hear more.
Yeah, and also worth noting that it's only recently that more and more Dutch people, and people outside of Amsterdam even know what this theater is, because going back 15, 16 years ago, it was mostly geared towards tourists and, some, expats who had been living there for a period. So also worth noting that.
Yeah, I think we are getting more and more Dutch people that are looking for like different theater experiences, and especially you hear a lot more English now in Amsterdam. Even Dutch people, some speak more English now, and that also draws a crowd to English speaking theaters for sure. I'm sure that is noticeable. But yeah, so then I was at that workshop, and they invited me over to come and play for some audition for theater, for actors. And I met the music director there, David Schmoll, who's now, by the way, just wrote a beautiful musical that's set to premiere next year called Bigfoot, and I'm so excited to see it, with Amber Ruffin. So I met David Schmoll, and we just had a connection instantly. We just knew like, oh, this is the type of person that I'm supposed to meet right now. And this is the type of person that I get to learn from, which is such a beautiful opportunity. At the time, I only saw him and was like, this is a really nice person, and I can't wait to, hopefully see him again at some point, because I didn't know that I was just there to play. That's my thing. I love to play. And when I was playing there, I didn't know it was my audition, but turns out that they were auditioning for a music director. And then like a few weeks later, I got a call saying like, "Hey, are you interested?" Or a few days later, "Are you interested to play a show for us?" And I was like, "Absolutely, yes. Yeah, this is a cool opportunity." From that moment on, I was like,
your days of data analysis were over.
That's it. I'm done. No, it wasn't that fast. I wanted to make the right decision, right? I wanted to do justice by the time that I had spent on learning these skills, and I figured like, no, if I'm gonna use these skills, I want to do them. I want to use them in a way where it's also fulfilling my passion, which is music. And then, I got to do sort of the best of both worlds, where now I have sort of the business side, the the research side. I've been doing a lot of research and creating my own methods. Well, call it curriculum. That's an easy word.
It's much easier.
Curriculum on musical improv and on teaching, on following and leading with singers, with other musicians. So much beautiful things.
Can you teach musical improv? Because it's a question that also came up with, Katie Nixon, who's one of your colleagues who teaches improv comedy.
Right.
It's a topic that's come up with another cast member, Matt Castelvi, who also teaches, but they're teaching comedy, which, sure, you can teach the ideas or the theories of comedy.
Yeah.
I question if you can actually teach somebody to be funny or not, but I'm wondering, can you teach somebody how to improvise in music?
The answer is yes and no. Yes and no. Absolutely. Like I think that's a very interesting topic to talk about. Like how can you teach something that enhances you? Right. So I think comedy, any type of creative outburst, like teaching how to paint, you can teach the tools, you can teach the gears or how to use a wrench. You can teach these kind of things. But the actual doing of it requires you to do it. Right. The teaching musical improv for musicians or for actors, singers, etc. You can teach things that work. Those are little shortcuts. You can teach formatting, how to think, how to be, how to treat yourself, right, in that moment of performance. But getting the experience and being eager to find out new things, new abilities for yourself, I think, those are the gems that they come by trying and by doing and with time, basically. And I think,
and even then, maybe not always.
No,
either.
No, up to a certain extent, and maybe it requires you to look a bit more deeper into like, who am I as a performer? Maybe it's not the taste or the color of performer that I wish I was, or that my idol was. Maybe it's more if I become more of myself and more of what is my energy, my type of human, maybe that is the type of performer that I need to be, right? So let me give you an example. A lot of people go to the conservatory and they learn how to play beautiful jazz or learn how to play beautiful classical music, but maybe they're meant to be a rock star, right? And maybe their direction is not the right one. But you have to try these things out, because with these types of, when you try something out, when it feels right, when it's like, oh, this is where I want to know more of. And maybe that comes later.
So we had a similar conversation on the show with Wynton Marsalis, who was sitting there and talking about the first time he won a Grammy.
Wow.
And, the first time that he won a Grammy, he went back and, had a conversation with his father, who himself was an excellent musician as well. And, there was an appreciation for the fact that his son had won this award, but at the same time reminding the father reminded Wynton Marsalis, just because you have the trophy doesn't mean you can play.
Right. That's wow. Yeah, absolutely. No, but that is it, right? I think it's exactly also, as soon as I won that Emmy, I thought, okay, now things are good. No, that's when the real work starts. Now it's like, all right, what else you got? Like, how can you grow? Just because you reached a certain point, there is an infinite amount of other things that are still need to be discovered, and we have no idea what that is. And this goes very philosophical, but I'm so excited to try all of these things out. I'm so excited to find out what else is out there for me and my musical journey, right? So that's why I'm trying a lot of different things, and I stick with the things that really resonate with me. and then dive into those. And then from there I'll make a new decision, or I'll shift gears and find a path.
It's also, what can be kind of unusual as well is because, you won this Emmy just 2 years after you started releasing your own music.
Yeah.
The Emmy that I have for Breaking News, I think the first nomination that I had for an Emmy was in my very first year of my career.
Wow.
And the award was in the second year. And, it's also a very unusual feeling, especially, here and now, because you're proud of the award on the one hand, and on the other hand, you want to talk more about where you are now and where you've been more recently.
And I think as soon as you have sort of an accolade, right, I think the danger in that lies, okay, now I have that, and what's the next thing? Like often we don't see past that horizon very easily. Like finding a new challenge, finding something even greater, you'd often have to go deeper within, right? What is going to, because you had this drive of, I really want to be successful or rich or whatever that is, and once that is attained, once that check mark is there, it's harder then to find the drive that you had the moment you started. I find those kind of questions is like, when do you hit that sweet spot where you're doing the right amount of things? It's funny when you ask anybody on the street, hey, how's it going? It's like, yeah, I'm a little busy. That's literally every answer. Everyone is busy.
I'm laughing at the Dutch person doing the Dutch accent. It's just excellent.
I just have to say it's pretty good. We could have also done this whole interview like this. I'm probably the best at it. That's no, but I think that's I think that's the fun challenge of life is moments of these outbursts and diving deep, and then having an eagle eye view and doing all these little, like having an overview of all of the things that you're doing, going really deep into like research, but then at the same time striking this balance with human connection and I finding that, and then at the same time reevaluating, am I still doing the things for the reasons that I started them out with?
Totally.
Right? Yeah.
Totally. Is that why you started releasing your own music in 2020?
Yeah. Well, it's super, like, if I think back about it, it's like, how and why did I make these decisions? And I don't know if I have an answer for that, but I know that I studied, so in 2015, I became the full-time musical director at Boom. And I knew like, oh, it's time for me to up my skills in music production. So in the Netherlands, you have a sort of a daughter organization called the Abbey Road Institute,
right?
Which is like, what an experience. It's really throwing all kinds of people in the audio industry together, let them learn and play together, go to the most amazing places in the world when it comes to audio, and really getting an understanding of the music business besides just the musicianship, right? Or a producer for that matter. Networks, everything. I could fill an entire episode just by that. For that school education, and I started that in 2018, and I was like, this is something I need to do for myself, right? I finished it in March 2020, so I was like, I'm ready. All of these networking event, never mind,
right?
Right. So I was like, okay, I have to do something with this knowledge, with this degree now, with this, with this creativity that's bursting inside.
This is where your head's at when we go into the first lockdown in the Netherlands, basically during coronavirus.
Like, I have to do something, because I went from, and I say this in the episode of HitRecord, where I'm sure we'll talk about it in a sec.
Yeah.
But I went from 6 nights a week, sometimes 6-7 shows a week, to literally 0. And I was like, it's such a shock to your system. I was like, I gotta move, I gotta play, I gotta do stuff. And I started doing lockdown music, which was my little kind of remedy for it.
Yeah.
And I just sat behind a piano in my little second bedroom, like studio kind of thing. Put a camera on me, asked a bunch of my friends, hey, give me a word and I'll improvise based on it. No idea. And okay, had 100 views, 150, 200 views, nothing. But I was doing it consistently, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this for 30 days already. That's, I have a repertoire now of these songs that I wrote, and some were more suitable. Some were like more theatrical or scores type of things. It was all just piano. And I was like, it's
and
nice.
all classical.
And all, technically classical.
Like sort of classical,
it's classical, cinematic, kind of. Yeah. And I just wanted to do something with that. I wanted to do more with that. And then I started looking for different opportunities to put that type of creativity in music, or on other projects. And that's when I came across HitRecord. And I was like, this is great. This is people working together and collaborating and making stuff. And that's what I want to do. And I'm sure more people want to do that.
So tell me about the platform, about HitRecord in the first place. Because this is what basically leads to you getting this award a couple years later.
Yeah. Well, actually, a year. Something.
Yeah.
It was within a year of me finding the platform to. What happened? So I stumbled across it. I don't know how exactly, but I stumbled across it, and I saw people requesting music, or people making music, or people making animations, or taking pictures, or dancers. It's literally any type of creative can join the platform and submit their work to be used for other people to be inspired and collaborate, right? You can request something. Hey, I'm looking for some music for this story that I have. I want to put this story into on music, or I have a piece of music and I need some lyrics. Maybe somebody can write some lyrics for me, or think of it and you can request it. And I was scouring, and I found this picture of closed apartment looking out over sea. And I was like, this is something that I need to make music for. I had 50 contributions or something.
I mean, just to be more specific with the photo itself. I mean, yes, the doors are open and looking out at sea, but the room's completely dark inside. Yeah. And the way that the railing of the balcony is, in one way, you can't really tell, is this a balcony? Is it a cell? Yeah. What is this confined space? Yeah. Or is it, a sort of like moment of waking up and a moment of discovery? So the photo itself, I would argue, also leads to a lot of different interpretation just looking at it.
Yeah. And to me, that's been such a, like a first glance thing. As soon as I saw it for the first time, I was like, I got it. Or something came up.
Did you know the artist who took the photo? It's an actress. She's based in London. What's her name?
I think Razim.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
And you didn't know her at that moment.
No.
She hadn't written a description of the photo.
Nothing.
She had just posted this photo.
Yeah. I think it was like Mixed Feelings or something like that.
Right.
It was called. I literally just saw the photo, and I was, again, sometimes, in life, you meet the right person, you see the right thing, you're at the right place at the right time, and the only thing you can do is follow the flow and say yes to that opportunity and go with whatever comes to mind. And I think then, sometimes I wonder how many beautiful opportunities or moments have we missed when we, at that point, doubt ourselves and say, no, I'll do it later.
Right.
oof, like that really. I have a very big sense of like injustice, which is like for the art, I guess, that should have been but never got the chance to. No, but and at that moment I decided, okay, I'm gonna write something for this, and I just put it online, or like I contributed that, and that led to this avalanche of drawings and dance choreography that then 30, 40, 50, 60 people danced that choreography or had little moments of with their family listening to that, watching that, or discussing that, or writing other things about it. This became this kind of viral within the confined spaces of HitRecord. And then as soon as it became part of the YouTube original series, it got over 1 million views and was like a big thing, and then got recognized by the Emmy for excellent innovation. But obviously the whole team of HitRecord took that story, one of the stories, and placed it into an episode, which there were a few.
Which the show comes from.
Exactly.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
exactly.
the actor.
Yes. And so the actor he ran it with his brother, who I believe we do have to check this, but I believe he died, and in his honor he's still doing it. He's still running the platform, and he has this amazing team of editors and people who work on it to generate opportunities for these creatives, for the members of HitRecord, to get paid, to do certain like opportunities. Like there's video games who get their artwork from artists on HitRecord, right? So these kind of platforms are so like amazing for people who just want to create art and are not really part of the business and don't have the network or the ability to sell themselves in such a way, but just want to be seen in that sense. So I think, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And you get this recognition.
Yeah.
You get the recognition from Amsterdam Dance Event as well, or from also because of Spotify. And now you're at a point where you have around 25 million listens on your work.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like 80,000 people listen to your work every month on Spotify.
Yeah.
At the same time, you've had this very stable career working for 10 years full-time with Boom. 14 years there in total, but now you're about to walk away from it.
That's right. Yeah, it's time to move on, and I think it could have been earlier, it could have been later, but I chose now is the time. And I'm doing so many different projects at the same time, and yes, the stability will leave, but I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready for the next chapter of my life in that sense. So I'm saying creatively no to that part of my life, and then I know that something's going to open up, and I trust that completely. If not, I'm screwed. No, if not, then that'll be a great lesson. But I've made that decision, and I think there can be no greater sense of freedom than doing that sort of in a career path of, okay, I'm going to focus my energy no longer on this, and I'm going to free myself up to focus on the next thing that's going to come either my way or that I'm interested, intrigued, triggered by, to then go. Yeah.
Would you say this moment right now that this is your biggest leap of faith, or was, the biggest leap 15 years ago when you said, you know what, I'm done with what I'm studying, I'm done with what I've been working towards, and I'm going to keep going towards music?
I don't know which one's bigger. I feel that this Okay. I feel that this one is bigger, actually. Yeah, now that I think about it. Because I was at a crossroads, right? I could choose this and it would be fine. And I could choose this and it would be fine. Now I'm no longer choosing something that's, taking up 75% or, somewhere around that number of my time that I've spent, that I'm spending in a week, which is going to open up a lot of free time. But I think it's important for me to have this time and these resources now to expand on the things that I truly want to do. One of the things we haven't talked about yet, actually, is Peacock in concert, which is also a reason why I was at ADE a couple of years ago, actually 2 years ago. So that and I want to focus more on that as well.
And what was that you said?
Oh, sorry, Peacock in concert.
And what is that?
Peacock in concert is it's a concert experience made by the DJ Dr. Peacock. It's in the harder styles, which is it's hardcore, but faster. So harder hardcore. It's called Frenchcore, and it's this amazing group of people. We're all musicians from a different background. One is an opera singer from het Groot Omroepkoor in Hilversum, like
the National Broadcasting Choir.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, yes. Who sings classical, amazing. One is an amazing session violinist that works on all kinds of theater productions as well as big concerts. One is another violinist that plays with all kinds of DJs. We have a rock metal guitarist who runs a production studio. It's all of these amazing musicians and plus the amazing DJ, Dr. Peacock. We're coming together. We're creating a show together. I help compose some of the transitions and help steer kind of, the musical aspect and the band sort of. Last summer we got to perform the opening ceremony of Defcon in front of 65,000 people.
Which is, for people who don't know, I mean, it's a huge music festival, an annual festival here, where it's considered, one of the loudest events to happen in the Netherlands, right? Where the music is so loud you can feel it vibrating miles away.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, it went over the IJsselmeer, where people in I believe Dronten or something like. It is near Dronten, but if you go like across the water,
across the lake, you
can hear the basses there. It's that big. Like it's unbelievable. It's a nationwide festival.
I mean, it's so unusual because, talking to you and meeting you, you don't seem like a Defcon kind of guy. I've been listening to your music since we agreed on doing this interview, and your music is, classical, almost meditative. I think you even have a piece called Meditation as well.
It's my first piece, yeah.
and so it's really, in some ways, feels like the exact polar opposite of what you hear at Defcon.
And that's why I love it. Because what greater opportunity or what greater mind shift or like kind of test in that sense, if you understand what it takes to build the most calming and beautiful experience, what is the exact opposite of that, right? What is something that is in audio the most like hardest hitting, invigorating type of music that jolts cells on a molecular level? It's productional perfection in that sense. To me, the production is so deep that you can still hear melodies and the whole music experience, but it's layered and it's compressed in such a way that you have to move when you hear it. Like your whole body just gets such a jolt of energy. And I think it's so cool to see that, and at the same time do this as well.
Will you be doing more of these shows?
Yes, next year Peacock in Concert will be 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I have joined in 2019 while I was at Abbey. Again, right place, right time, right? I met this guy. I met this his entire team. We clicked. We just had a beautiful connection. And 2 weeks later, he asked me, "Hey, can you join this October in 013, which is a concert venue in Tilburg?"
Tilburg, yeah.
It's beautiful, like 3,500 people, the most people I had ever performed for. Yes, let's go. Like, I had no idea what to expect. A world opened for me. I did not know what Frenchcore was, nor did I knew Gabber and the hardcore movement, like from TV, and my brother had a couple of Thunderdome CDs,
right?
So I was like, that's cool. And I knew some, but no idea that it was still going on and this big and this dramatic. And what is currently happening is actually, I think we're at a beautiful inflection point of this genre as well, where I hear Billie Eilish is playing hardstyle.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Joost Klein from Eurovision,
last year's Eurovision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's doing he's doing Coachella.
Right.
Crazy. Love that.
I saw that. I thought I was shocked when I saw that. Actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. And then also he's playing one of Dr. Peacock's tracks.
Mm.
Right? He's playing during the end of his session. He's playing, Musica, which is a piece by Dr. Peacock and Sefa. It's like it gets more and more ingrained. There was an Amazon Prime documentary about the hardcore movement. Like, we're looking for these extremes, and they're becoming less niche and more mainstream. And we see this it's happening. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that it just escapes this niche once and for all, because it's also just part of music, our history, and our especially here in the Netherlands.
Right.
Like,
totally.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing more of that, or do you see yourself doing more classical music and recording more of that, or some sort of balance between? What do you predict?
I think more of everything. Yeah. So I will absolutely continue to be part of Peacock in Concert and doing these shows. I will do more classical music as well. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going into the performance side, which is something I've been discussing with myself in that sense of like, should I? Yeah.
While you play, while you do the music for Boom Chicago, it's not like you're on stage. You're there and you're off stage and performing. Yeah. But you're not actually the spotlight's rarely on you.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm not the focal point, and I like that actually. Mm-hmm. So that's the discussion that I'm like the issue that I'm trying to solve for myself is like, do I want to be the focal point at the music when I'm at Defcon, or when I'm at a festival like that? I'm not the focal. I still don't feel like the focal point, even though there's at least 5,000 eyes on me. Mm-hmm. If there's 60,000 people in the audience, at some point
someone's gonna glance at you.
There's gonna be a lot of people watching me. That's so cool. I don't know if that's my drive for, absolutely not my drive for doing that, obviously, but I don't know if that's where I want to take my music classically. Mm-hmm. I think for the Peacock in Concert stuff, amazing, but for the classical stuff, that might be more of an introspective kind of thing. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, well, how do I want to use that meditative, calming kind of working, studying kind of music and turn that into something bigger? Because I do want to do that.
And are you going to have like a second persona?
Maybe.
Will you have to have a second Spotify account because people are going to see you on stage at Defcon or during these Dr. Peacock shows. And then if they search you out, they're not going to hear the type of music maybe that they're expecting to hear.
Yeah, but that's, I think it is very interesting because I've gotten a lot of people from the Defcon community who went and sought me out and saw, oh wait, there's actually a lot of overlap between the two, right? As well, because the neoclassical music that I play is very slow, but if you put a very fast beat around it, on top of it, it becomes this beautiful meditative piece. And one of the pieces actually that I wrote during a session with Dr. Peacock. It became the theme song for that whole concert, awesome. Which is called "Illusion of Time," which is it's such a beautiful. I cannot believe I wrote it because I like it that much. It's like it's such a beautiful kind of Ludovico Einaudi type of piece, and then we put it on, like Dr. Peacock created this piece, like the whole arrangement on it, and helped, with the production, and then it became this beautiful track. And I was like, I want to release both. And when people heard that, they're like, we want to hear more. Like, we want to hear more of that as well. It's like, it's this, because these kind of Frenchcore songs, you can't go for 5 minutes, right? You're going to be that tired. So it needs this break. And so it needs a climb. So go from the lowest point, which is this beautiful kind of relaxing piano music or orchestral music, to build to the highest peak. Having that dramatic of a switch. That's also like a beautiful way of playing with this type of music, and it happens as well.
And so, how much of this comes out of your experience working in improv comedy then, and improvisational theater? Because of course, you've got a lot of different styles of improv theater, some of which is more long form, and the more long form is, in the sense of theater, you're taking your audience on story arcs, and you're taking them in peaks, and there's highs and there's lows. Absolutely. And there's dips. So it all, like the way that you describe putting a piece together for Frenchcore, and that it can't just be a constant thumping and pounding. It sounds a lot like, in long form theater.
That's a great pattern. Exactly. It's I see every type of music in that sense. It's playing with dynamics. It's playing with tension, and when I do a show, when it's long form or when it's short form, when it's short form, it's more condensed, and you need to get out there fast. You need to you need to be flexible, adjust, go, and be adaptive to the situation, right? Listen, be super focused. It takes a lot of energy actually to do really good musical improv, like scoring, which is the music underneath the scene. To do a song, that's easy. Anybody can play a song, right? Just throw a couple chords together, listen to what's going on, and make sure you stick the landing. That's it, right? You can't mess that up. Scoring, you can mess it up by not being flexible, by not adapting, and also by not not steering or finding out like what is now necessary, right? If you've been yelling and giving your all as a musician and like really driving the scene and going, everybody gets tired. So you need to have a moment, and you need to find these moments when you can stop, create the tension, and let it go again. Like it's,
but this is kind of what I'm saying. Earlier when we were talking about, what's something that you can teach and what can't you teach. Right. This feels to me like something that you can't really teach.
No. Knowing when the right, knowing that you have to be flexible like this, that is one part of it. But knowing when it is time to do that, that's a feeling. That's when does like a pole vaulter, one of those people who run. I was watching that. Is how do you know exactly when does that pole go where, and to get to the right spot exactly so that your pole goes all the way and you have the perfect angle, and like that's it. That's literally is like, okay, how do you know when it's the right time before a joke
Right.
needs to land?
See, and there's experience with the pole vaulter, right?
Exactly.
The pole vaulter knows where to put it and where to go.
Yeah.
But you can't teach somebody to be a great pole vaulter.
No.
There's an inherent
Right.
skill and
Yeah.
an inherent instinct
Yeah.
that kind of comes along with that. That comes along with maybe doing comedy or maybe doing music as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that is a feeling that is a something that comes with experience, and some people have it, which is also something that I find very interesting. Some people can't read music whatsoever, or have no idea to play or how to play or whatever. But they do have that feeling of knowing when something is right.
Mm.
They can hear, oh, this is when it's correct. They might not even have the rhythmic or tempo or whatever, but they know when it hits them, they know this is the right type of thing. And so there's skills of the tools, and there's that feeling. I think having that feeling will set you up so much more for success in terms of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can learn all of these skills, right? So yeah, that's, I think, the teachable is the skills, and then the unteachable is that feeling, which you can approach. But yeah, that's very tricky, I think.
So how many of these Dr. Peacock in concert shows are you doing next year, do you think?
I hope between like 5 and 15. So they're not that many,
and they're all around the world.
but they're all around. Yeah, they're all around Europe, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because reasons of travel.
Well, so if you're doing, an average of, let's say 1 to 2 a month, right? Or actually one every 1 to 2 months is what I mean.
Yeah.
And you're not performing at Boom anymore. Is there a part of you that starts to get concerned about whether or not you start, losing that muscle memory of being an improvisational performer?
Right. I think so. I think I will not necessarily lose that, but I think there's a good period of letting your muscle heal, right? Letting your muscle relax. I think, I go to the gym every now and then. I have sore, right? I have sore muscles every now and then. And, a lot of bodybuilders, they go through these huge changes of their physique. And I think this is exactly the time for me to let the performers itch, kind of let that rest for a while until I re-find it. Because now it's 5 nights a week. Right, I've done 3,000 shows in the last 10 years. That's a decent amount. I'm like, okay, this is, I think it's important for me to still perform, but also at the same time perform less and really focus on the performances that I do have.
You said refine. Does that mean you've kind of lost a bit of your desire to play?
I don't want to say that because that's so painful. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think playing has always given me like a spark, right? And it still does. Don't get me wrong, absolutely. But I do think that playing live, I can be more. I can enjoy it more. I could enjoy it more. And that's I think the best answer I can give you. Like, I think I'm losing, or I have lost a little bit of that, which is very hard to admit. And but at the same time, it gives me hope. Because I know I can turn it on and off whenever I need to. Right? That's also a skill. Like, if I need to play a show, I'll give the best. There's no middle ground. I will always give the best. But there's a certain feeling that you have when you do something you truly, truly go for, or it's like, yeah, it's okay. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to say maybe you're just done with that step or with
Yeah.
that phase.
Yeah, it's been very hard to admit that as well, I think. And that's also why, it's taken me quite a while to say honestly to myself, I'm ready for this next step, because creatively, I'm ready to create more and new and bigger and yeah.
Had it been in mind for a while to leave?
It's always right. When is it time for me? That's been, it's on my mind, but that's the thing, is like, because it's such a fleeting thing, you never know when your last or next performance will be, in that sense. I hope I get to perform for a lot more, right? I really hope so, but I don't know. And that's, I think that is also something that I'm coming to terms with.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm also really curious is, are you worried? Are you scared that taking a leap from stability to instability can be nerve-wracking just on its own? Are you worried about it?
No, I've always been kind of calculated, in the sense that I don't want to put myself in risk, like of truly, nothingness, in that sense. So I will always have my music. That plus my experience and the things that I've done and the people that I've met, and I know that I can make it work. How I'm gonna make it work, and the type of like success that will come from there, all depends on my drive. Like, I truly believe if you go for it with a certain mindset, there is, and this sounds super privileged. I can like hear myself like, oh yeah, it's going to be okay. But no, I know that I've worked extremely hard, and that I have the ability to overcome or outshine myself and my own expectations, in that sense. And like, that's where I'm going for. And I think that mindset of like, no, it's going to be great, it's going to be fantastic, then it will be.
Are you sort of on this journey on your own, or what's your support system like?
Well, I have an amazing partner, girlfriend, who I have a bunch of creative projects with as well as we're on this journey with a phrase that I cannot name yet because we haven't patented it yet. But I don't know if we can edit that out. But it's keynotes in concert, where it's this amazing project where she is giving a keynote on future of technology, artificial intelligence, education, these types of future of, and I'm underscoring those with live music and live performance, and basically showcasing the beautiful connection between tech and human. And so it's sort of giving this intro to what actually the world is going to look like when you combine tech and human into this amazing performance. And it's both intellectual, very amazing, like a very intellectual kind of experience, as well as the entertainment value of a concert or a theater show, in that sense.
You're scoring this like a Muay Thai fight.
Exactly. No, but that's
in a way, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, the fight's going on, and there's a band, a band of trained musicians that are sort of playing with the rising tempo of the fight.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now in improv scenes, and I know that I have the ability, or like I know that what I love is movies. I love movies and making soundtracks for advertisements and all of these kind of like media, theater, whatever that is. Putting stories to music is what I love, right? What I really do with my time and where I get my passion. So setting an educational piece to music is scratching that in such a beautiful way. And especially, I love technology. I love gadgets and new things. And especially in the world of AI, I think having that, like the music and the art, enhancing human interaction and human connection, that's exactly like the thing that we need, I think, in terms of the art.
Does your girlfriend, does she have a background in entertainment?
Yes, as well. She's a performer. She studied theater in Canada. She has a theater background, but went full tech.
Who is she?
Her name is Jos Dirks, and she's a best-selling author and one of the top 100 women in AI.
Is AI going to steal your job as a musician?
I'm just going to say no.
Why?
Because I know that people who do not use AI, they're going to lose to people who do use AI. Absolutely. But your ability as an artist to be better than AI, like, use it for all I care. But if everybody is, it's sort of leveling the playing field, and it requires artists to be even better than that. And now, how cool is that challenge, right? If you, the same thing with MIDI, right? With producers, like MIDI is this tool where you can put in notes and it'll play that. Well, that was a big game changer for anybody who learned how to play piano and learn how to use an instrument, because no longer you needed to, this technology came. And every time these new technologies come, but it's up to the artist to yes, of course you can be scared, but you have to be better than that. Okay, then set yourself that expectation. So in terms of artists, no, be better, be more yourself, because that's never going to be like mimicked or recreated by a computer.
Would Jos agree with you?
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
I hope so. No, I think so, yeah.
What's the dynamic of the relationship, both personal and professional, like between you and Jos? Because here, on the one hand, she's on stage and a best-selling author and in the spotlight. You're someone who isn't, but has played for audiences of 65,000 people.
Yeah.
And as you said, 3,000 show. Yeah, I think 3,000 shows in 10 years, but often for a few hundred people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, we're both on stage in that sense, so we have the ability to look at a crowd and go like, I want to connect to these people. The eyes are more on her in that sense, and I do not mind that. I like where I am, and I come from a place where I play, so I just want to support, and whatever story I can help shape through music, I feel that there's an audience for both, right? There's an audience for the intellect, and there's an audience for the entertainment, and I give some intellect through the music as well, and she gives some entertainment through her stories. So I think it's a beautiful kind of world that we're building. In terms of dynamic, we're super energetically connected in that sense. So we will feel things out and go with that flow, I think.
When are the two of you going to start doing more shows together? Or more, shows is maybe not the right word, or lectures or events.
Starting today, right? No, we've done a few in South Africa. We've done one. We've done a few in the Netherlands, and we're only gonna increase our impact on the world of keynotes and entertainment, and in that sense. And I think there's a beautiful opportunity here to continue that. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing as well.
How long have the two of you been together?
We've been together for almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Yeah. So she wasn't there with you at the moment that you started releasing music on your own, or when you won your awards, or when you started getting more recognition.
No.
So, what was that period of your life like, where you're getting these moments and you're getting recognized as an artist, but then you're kind of on your own and in the middle of this lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I had a relationship back then, but it was not I wasn't in the right mindset and mind space at that time. It's kind of a hard topic, but yeah, it's.
I mean, you've got to be.
Yeah, no,
you've got to be.
I want to be open, obviously.
But I mean, you have to be, open to a relationship to be in a relationship, right? I mean, if it's not there at that time.
I chose to end that relationship for a good reason. I was like, this is no longer serving me. So then came a period of no relationship, and I went,
And your career goes like way up.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I was very much focused on myself during that period. I wasn't in a good space also due to some trauma from, back in the days, like a very long, time ago in my early 20s. I had a big traumatic event happen, and I was dealing with that a lot. And I found that I needed to make a change, and I wasn't really true to the core, right? I mentioned this a little bit earlier as well. I wasn't really true to the person that I was within, and I wasn't being activated in that sense by my surroundings or by, what was around me. And so the pandemic led to this kind of introspection and release that I wasn't doing the things for the right reasons. I needed to go through this personal development, and that's when I started releasing music, right? That's when I started coming to terms with, this is who I really am. I'm this person who puts out, music for themselves. I don't want to keep it locked in anymore. It's okay for me to speak up. And I think, that sentence of it's okay to be the person who has something to say and to say that. And that was quite a big journey that, led to me also finding my partner in that sense.
Was it the music that helped you get past this traumatic event?
Yeah, definitely a part. It's played a big part in its significance. It's part of understanding where these emotions come from, and also being able to say, like, no, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm okay with the decisions that I've made that has led to the person I am right now. And to be okay with that. Yeah.
Are you open to talking about it, or is it something that you don't talk about much?
I don't talk about it that much. Like, let's see. Yeah. No, it has to do with my father. But yeah, I prefer not to talk.
No, that's fine. It's, I mean, trauma is so unusual in how when something happens, you can think in the period of time right after it happens that you're over it, and even build on top of it, never really realizing what the underlying, what's there underlying, lying beneath the surface,
right,
and whether or not that was ever actually adequately dealt with.
Yeah, or discovered. Yeah. And I feel like I've had moments where I thought, okay, I cannot truly talk about it yet, or I don't have the ability to fully grasp it. And then there's moments that I'm like, no, I'm 100%. I understand the situation, and I have felt the grief and the emotions that were necessary to be able to let go of this. And it's been over a decade, and I've spent many therapy sessions about this as well, and not always being completely aware of the emotional impact that it's had. Like, that comes and goes in waves, and I'm very much a person of the present, of now, because I'm an improv musician. I literally have to live in the now. So there is moments of introspection and understanding, like, this is a big thing and it had this and this impact of my life. And sometimes being like, I choose not to engage or talk about it or feel that emotion. But it's always, it's a loss in that sense. So it's always going to be part of it. It will never be replaced. It is just what it is. And yeah, that is, I think I get inspiration out of it. I get drive out of it. I get these beautiful things, and I get a lot of suffering out of it as well. I get, things like abandonment issues, and of course they exist, and being aware of those when they happen, or slightly after they happen, or later, that's all okay. I just have to, it's a very personal story and a journey, and I think I'm okay with that.
Now that you've got this sort of new phase and new direction that you're headed in, you've also got a new album.
That's right.
As well.
Yeah.
So that's called
Drift Season.
Absolutely. And, what are people going to find if they download the album or buy the album?
Oh, that, beautiful piano music, obviously. No, so
the best.
I think it's the first time that I wrote music. And like everything that I do is based on improv, right? On improvisation. And that is the first time that I truly came to terms with, no, I'm ready to follow the next flow. And I can hear that in the pieces that I'm writing. It's getting closer to the essence of me and what I'm writing. And it's this beautiful end of a chapter as well. So it's sort of the dissipation of holding on to certain expectations or certain feelings or certain emotions and letting them go. And that, I think, is perfect for this. We're sitting here in a stormy day, in a stormy autumn day. That's it, right? It's letting go and getting this fresh wind and clearing that which is no longer necessary for us, or no longer serving us in a way that we intended them to serve and have us in our lives.
So for people who want to listen to it, where do they find it?
You can find it anywhere. So it's being released over the next months. The final release of the whole album is on December 18th. The first 3 pieces have been released already, and every 3 weeks I am releasing a new track. So it goes from Cinder Leaves all the way to the final album. I'm really proud of the work. I'm looking for ways as well to sort of bring people along with the story of it. So throughout the coming weeks, I will be, having more personal stories and putting my efforts into these, the way of letting go of things like Boom Chicago as well, but many more of these things. Yeah.
So do you send people over to Spotify?
Yes.
To listen to your music?
So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer. You can find it anywhere. Just look for my name, Sacha Hoedemaker, and the rest will follow.
And also your information, your personal stories.
Yes.
Where do you put those at?
On Instagram, social media is the same, Sacha Hoedemaker, just my name. I thought, like, I want to keep things personal, so let's keep it personal, right? I don't need that was actually something I'd always wondered, like, why, do I want an artist name or no? This is who I am, and if that changes, then I'll change my name.
Right.
But Sacha Hoedemaker is putting out neoclassical piano music.
Cool.
And that's what I do.
All right. Sacha, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day and sitting down with us.
Thank you so much, Zach.
And enjoy Amsterdam Dance Event.
Woo! Yay. Thanks.
Dam Yankee is produced in partnership with NL Times, the top choice for English language news from the Netherlands. Founded nearly 15 years ago, NL Times is now the #1 site for information about this country, featuring more news stories every day of the week than any other website. Keep tabs on the latest top stories, features, and breaking news from across the entire country, including the 3 big cities, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague. So visit nltimes.nl now and find out what millions of people are reading about the Netherlands. And of course, for people who don't know the Dutch language, if you want to know how to spell Sacha Hoedemaker's name, check the episode notes on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find him there. Dam Yankee is an NL Times podcast. The show was created by me and Peach Rizzo. This episode was produced by Marcus Engel and Eve Papakadze.